You should let Skip.
Okay, so there are things out there where, let's just say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And this is one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, True Believers, Englentine here. It's Bad Comic Theater. It is Black History Month, and we're going through some of the best and most ridiculous stories that centered around Black characters or Black stories. In this case, we're going to be going through Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, 106, titled I Am Curious Black, where Lois Lane, in order to understand the plight of the black man, turns black. I don't know why they thought this would be a good idea, yet they did, in fact. And it was absolutely... you know what? Let's just get to it. So we've got the real Dr. Venkman, except no substitutes.
It's not my favorite comic book. Do not quote me. It was not my choice.
And we've got Maranya. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm gonna be typecast for life now.
There you go. Is the female character? Yep. Eric being narrator and a few other roles today. How you doing?
Hi, kids. Our host has this book framed in his wall.
I do somewhere around here. I do have it, yes. And then we have playing the lead, playing the one of the title characters, Skipper Man. How you doing, Skip?
Doing all right. How y'all doing?
Peachy Keen. And I know you've got to be like, oh, what the hell did we get into? What is this? What the hell is this?
I really did. I had no idea what I signed up for. And it was so many points of it are like so not my characteristics, but I'm here and I'm going to do my bit to the best of my ability.
We call this Bad Comic Theater because not necessarily that the comic's bad, or in this case it is, but the fact that we're not professional actors and we do this as a play, and it's going to be a blast. So let me share this thing out.
Okay,
and get into it.
Rhaegar has a really good comment. Tropic Thunder,
Lois Lane
edition.
Okay, so here, nope, not that one.
Just remember, Skip, when you're assessing blame, it goes Zach, Pixel, Trusty.
Yeah, right, man. You're at the top of the list. Whatever.
Well, okay,
yes, let us forget that it is my channel and I'm the one that makes the rules on it. So I absolutely agree with your assessment here, Skip. Now I couldn't find it on the DC shop, so we had.
So you want a surprise?
Yeah, so we had to go. We had to go read comics online. But here we go. Now, I don't consider this an iconic cover. It's just one that it's like, what is going on here?
It's telling the story. You might as well just read this.
You know where the title comes from, right?
I Am Curious Black. By all means, let us know.
Well, there was I believe it was a French or Italian movie called I Am Curious Yellow.
Yes.
It was a very borderline X-rated movie done around this time, and so that's a play on that title.
They were trading on that for this.
Well, good to know. All right, so you're right. It tells the story. Are you sure you want to go through with this, Lois? Yes, Superman, close the body mold and switch on the power. And we see him do his little thing. It's important that I live the next 24 hours as a black woman. So let's get into this before and see how long we can go before my channel gets shut down. All righty. Eric, you are the narrator, so.
Oh, he doesn't go yet. Oh,
well, I guess I can read it. Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane.
Look me straight in the eye, Superman, and tell me the truth. Will you marry me just the way I am?
Oh, shoot. Jeez. Okay, here I am.
That's you, Skip. Yep.
Lois, how could you ask such a question of me? Me?
Don't answer a question with a question, Superman. I'm now black, but you're white. I want a simple answer, yes or no. Will you marry me?
This is not an imaginary tale, not a fantasy, not a dream.
Damn.
It's today. It's now. It's the moment of truth. I am curious. Black.
Robert Kanigher is who we have to blame for this.
Well,
Robert Kanigher thought it was a good idea.
He's dead.
I don't care. He still gets to blame.
At the Daily Planet, reporter Lois Lane excitedly informs Clark, Superman, Kent.
Gee, I have the assignment of my life to get the inside story of Metropolis's Little Africa.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I don't live in New York. Is there actually a Little Africa? I've never been. I've been
I
like
thought it was
once,
Harlem. I thought it was
40 years
Harlem.
ago. I know, right? It's Harlem. Harlem is the famous black.
There's Little Italy, but not Little Africa.
We've got Little Vietnam here.
Well, there's not a metropolis in our world either.
We call it target practice.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
I should get the Pulitzer Prize for telling it like it is. The nitty-gritty no newspaper ever printed before.
Good luck, Lois. Just the same, I'm going to change. Well, oh wait, is that so? Yeah, I'm going.
Yep.
That's the
I'm going to change to Superman and keep an eye on her.
Outside the newspaper building.
Still you, Skip.
Taxi, Miss Lane, Benny the Beret at your service as usual.
Take me to Little Africa, Benny.
Shortly in Metropolis black community.
Want me to wait, Miss Lane?
No thanks, Benny. I don't know when I'll be finished. Hi, kids. I'm Lois Lane, reporter for the Daily Planet. I want to ask you about school. What? No, wait. They're turning their backs on me.
Entering a nearby slum tenement.
If the kids won't talk to me, maybe an adult will. Good morning, I'm...
Slam.
Oh,
Wherever the perplexed reporter goes.
how can I break through this wall of suspicion? No one will speak to me. That mother wheeled her baby away from me as if I were the plague.
Tell you the truth, the baby doesn't look too happy with her
I
either.
know, right?
Oh, don't coochie coo me.
Also, it looks like the colorist got a little overzealous
No,
and
that's just shadow, actually.
started a little early here.
Wandering like a homeless ghost. Nice to have the sun shining on your face.
At last, someone's speaking to me. I'm Lois Lane, madam, a reporter for the Daily Planet. I'd like to... The
She
freeze...
walks away.
Yeah, the freeze is still on. The only reason that nice old lady spoke to me is because she's blind. When she heard me speak, she knew I was white. Now that is racist.
Okay, here we go.
Continuing on her weary way, Lois pauses at a street meeting where
Look at her, brothers and sisters. She's young and sweet and pretty, but never forget she's whitey. She'll let us shine her shoes and sweep her floors and babysit for her kids, but she doesn't want to let our kids into her lily white schools. It's okay with her if we leave these rat-infested slums if we don't move next door to her. That's why she's our enemy.
He's wrong about me, but right about so many others.
after hours of frustration, a dejected Lois sits in a neighborhood park.
Clark told me about your assignment, Lois. How are you making out?
Like nothing, Superman. I've drawn a blank. I'll never get inside Little Africa. Unless you help me.
After Lois explains her plan.
I don't know what made me fly you to my Fortress of Solitude. I should have turned you down cold.
Please, Superman.
Inside the Arctic fortress.
Are you sure you want me to step inside the plastomold, Lois? Do you know what's going to happen when I pull the switch of the Transformaflux pack?
I do. I've used this machine before. Go ahead.
The plastomold machine was invented by Darnell, a Kryptonian surgeon, as told in Lois Lane 90,
So, okay.
who coincidentally also invented the bat shark repellent.
Now I've known a Darnell. He was a black kid. Are you telling me that there was a Kryptonian? Was he black and he created a machine to turn white people black?
Well, we'll have to see if you go back to.
I really
no.
want to look at Lois Lane 90 now.
I think that he was white and turned himself black. He became
Well,
Maybe.
Krypton had a little Africa too.
I guess so.
Locked inside the transforming mold, Lois undergoes a startling change.
Read more comics for free. Okay, hold on just a second. Thank you very much to Glinzer, who says a 1964 movie called Black Like Me is likely the inspiration for that Lois Lane story. I guess maybe similar things occur here.
So she didn't gain any curves at all. I noticed that.
Yeah, she didn't get no booty.
No.
Well,
What the heck?
that's because the black cat had it all from last night.
That's right, she did.
Okay, there we
The
go.
weird humming ceases. The transformation is complete.
Lois, you understand you'll be black for a day only. Then the change will reverse itself and you'll be white again.
I know, Superman. Now fly me back, please.
Why'd the voice change?
Hey, she's going all in. I've got to change my clothes.
A lightning trip back to Metropolis, and soon
A sun shower. I don't want to ruin my beautiful Afro attire. There's Benny the Beret. How lucky. He'll taxi me to Little Africa, and I'll really be accepted. Learn the inside story of what it means to be black. Why? He zoomed past me as if I don't exist.
Step one.
So, this is the way it is. The color of my money isn't good enough. Benny gave me my first lesson in the meaning of black.
Also, you're from Pennsylvania. Why are you doing like Southern Georgian black?
Why not? Why not?
Okay,
I've heard it from.
We're reading a comic about a woman who turns herself black, and you're criticizing about how she reads it.
I'm just okay. I'm just saying. All right.
I lived in Maryland for many years, and I heard Southern
Really?
black
Okay.
on the phone.
Okay.
with
So
my
I've always
customer
been in.
service.
I've always been in the South. And
I want Esther. That's all I wanted. Give me Esther's voice.
we've been in North Carolina, Texas,
Watch
and
it, sucker.
Florida here in Georgia. So
Yeah, okay.
Give me Sanford and Son. That's what I want.
No,
More
you're
feeling.
not getting Sanford and Son.
all right.
entering a subway.
Is everyone really staring at me as if I were a freak? Or is it my imagination? I feel so conspicuous. Yet I'm the same person I was before. Only my skin is black.
And her inner monologue.
There
Yes.
you go. Yes.
Hey,
And by the way, new scale model kits of Barnabas from Dark Shadows and the Werewolf.
hey, she's a method actor.
They glow in the dark.
I
Not
know,
anymore.
right? They actually kind of look cool.
Exiting.
Is that what happens every time these human beings ride in a subway or bus or in an all-white school? For childhood up, they're made aware that they're different. I'm still on assignment. I hope I can interview someone now.
Inside the gloomy interior.
Smoke, back of the stairs.
Oh, flap.
Oh my gosh.
As opposed to something else. The fire could have started from this pile of trash.
That's you, Vank.
You all right, honey? This place is a fire trap. From the start, people live here. Because our slumlord claims he can't afford a janitor anymore to take away that garbage.
And you gave me flack.
I know, right?
This narrator is wondering why he's reading the next line because I'm sure we're long gone. But in case we're not, invited into the woman's flat.
Have a cup of coffee. It's nice and hot. Hope you're not a bill collector because money's tighter around here than my son Lonnie's blue jeans.
There are black people that are in the North. You know that, right, guys? Just, Skip doesn't talk with that accent. What the hell?
Nope.
Yet.
And that's tighter than
I'm
his
more
skin.
offended at the horrible Southern accents than I am anything else. Come on.
That's what we do then, bro.
I'm trying to do soul, not Southern.
I'm here to entertain. That's all I'm here. Not to be professional. Right.
And they're tighter than his skin.
Okay,
Yep.
there we go.
Foam plaster. You get used to that when you're around here. The flat hasn't been painted since Noah landed in his ark. But I don't have to tell you about that.
Mama. I don't know. I guess that's a kid.
It's the baby. Her playmate is visiting her. We've got a tenant. He doesn't pay any rent, but that doesn't stop him. I get nightmares thinking about what will happen if this broom don't scare him back to his hole.
Yeah, having rats sucks.
That's why I don't go to Disney.
That's a big ass mouth. That's a little bit different.
It's all right now, honey. Mama's here. I haven't asked you who you are or who you're here for. Can I help you, sister?
She lives in misery. You ask if she can help me.
Shortly, pausing at an improvised pre-kindergarten.
Black is beautiful. What am I? Say it loud, clear, and proud. Black.
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 You are black. What is black?
Beautiful.
And Lois Lane has a hand fall on her shoulder. I'm Dave Stevens. I know it sounds like a line, but you remind me of someone. Did we ever meet somewhere before? Maybe at one of my meetings?
I?
They see some kids walking into an alley. Those kids, dropouts, they should be in school. I've got an idea who they're going to meet in that alley. Stay here. This is a man's business. Because if we aren't being racist, we're going to hit that misogynistic line.
It's my business, too, as a reporter.
In the alley.
You rats teaching our kids to steal so they could buy your poison? Hanging's too good for you.
Ooh.
Must be plain clothes thugs. Drop them. Pow, pow, pow.
Kapow, kapow.
Oh,
sorry.
No, that's me. Oh, no.
Oh, we see
Suddenly, like a streak of blue lightning.
That you skip.
Yeah.
Ow, feel that heat coming from his eyes.
Oh, hell no. Like a blast furnace. You know, my gun's too taffy.
You're the kid. I'm the black dog.
Oh, I was told I was the thug and the kid.
All righty. Sentences you never thought you'd hear.
I'm the DJ. He's the rapper.
Fine, let's rewind. Let Breen read it in his best.
Okay, there you go.
Give it to the man.
Oh,
Give it to the man.
like a blast furnace. I'm coming to join it. Melting our guns like taffy.
And now, wait, are you doing Red Fox from
He's doing Fred Sanford.
This is the big one.
Oh, this is a bad idea. Okay, there you go.
Superman's fists erupt like twin volcanoes.
He was shot trying to help kids who ran away when the shooting started.
I'll put those hoods on ice until the police come. The shots will bring them down here soon.
Oh, Superman. He's so still.
There's a hospital nearby. They'll take good care of him.
Moments later, in the emergency room.
RDV.
Get his blood type, nurse. Right away. He's fading.
But I've got relatives that sound like that. Come on, man.
Everybody sounds like that when he does it.
Yes, Doctor.
Tense minutes tick by like spurting heartbeats.
His blood type's O negative. He needs a blood transfusion immediately. We don't have enough funds for all types.
I can't help. Even if I were that type, no needle could penetrate my skin.
I'm O negative, just like him.
The eternal struggle of life against death begins as darkness falls.
Open and close your fist slowly. Slowly. Till I tell you to stop.
Yes, Doctor.
With each pulse of Lois's heart, her blood surges toward the victim of violence.
He put his life on the line to help others. Please, don't let him die. He's needed. Let him open his eyes. Please, please. His eyes are open. He's looking at me. I just know he'll be all right now. Thank God.
Half an hour later, Lois confronts Superman.
Oh, but here we go. Look me straight in the eye and tell me the truth. Do you love me? Suppose I couldn't change back. Would you marry me even if I'm black? An outsider in a white man's world?
You asked that of me? Superman? An alien from Krypton? Another planet? A universal outsider? I don't even have human skin. It's tougher than steel.
But your skin is the right color.
You know, I couldn't risk placing you in deadly danger from my foes. They'd try to hurt me by killing you.
I've heard that song before, Superman. Do you always have to play the same broken record when I mention marriage? Listen.
But before Lois can say another word,
What's happening? I feel strange. As if I were shedding my skin. Superman, look.
Yes, Lois, you're white again. The effect didn't last as long as I expected.
The patient has been asking for you, miss. What? Yes, nurse. It's me. He called me Whitey, his enemy. What will he say now?
You must see him, Lois, or you'll never find out. If he still hates you with your blood in his veins, there may never be peace in this world.
And she walks in, he sees her, smiles, and they hold hands. Dun 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 dun.
I just there's one big flaw with this. She mutated her body by changing all this stuff. What is it going to do to him?
Good question.
Oh, because he got the blood while it had been transformed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that actually, you know what? I think you're thinking way too much into this
You
story.
may turn white.
I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, so I'm gonna ask: is this the first time you guys have read this story?
Well, I did a quick review to see how much I was going to be speaking, but otherwise, this was the first time.
Okay, so
I
what
didn't have a
what
choice.
Did you think?
Oh,
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, this is. It was racist, but it was racist in the opposite direction.
Well, I don't know if it was, but okay. It's one of those. Like I said, it's the path of good intentions.
It's like Batgirl number 50. They think they're doing good, but they're actually doing more harm.
Oh boy.
Right, yeah.
I would disagree with that. This was an earnest attempt at building racial bridges 51 years ago. Cecil Castellucci knew she was preaching to her choir and giving the bird to everybody else.
Well, it would have made more sense if she woke up, like it's some kind of magic thing, or she had a dream. You know.
Well, the problem was
versus
so
where
much,
her just wanting to become black.
So much of DC in those days were a hoax, were an imaginary story that they wanted us to have impact, so they set it in the quote unquote real world.
Yeah.
There you go.
But they could have.
Well, let's ask Skip. What did you think?
I kind of feel how very close to how Brain was describing it. You can tell it was an earnest attempt, and I do agree that the Cecil Castellucci thing was a little more like pointed and vindictive than this, but I do agree that a lot of the people that kind of act out of this line of thinking and maybe end up in this particular place do mean well. Like, not always, some of it is very pointed, but a lot of people's intentions are good. It's just they think so deeply about the thing and they feel so strongly about it that when it comes to the action that they want to take to try to help things and make things better, they don't look at the whole. They just look at one particular thing, and then they kind of end up like doing the opposite, or in most cases, or just completely missing the point. It's like, you didn't just make things worse, but you just didn't make things better very, very aggressively, very hard. So yeah.
I remember, of course, by the time I became aware of this kind of thing, I was about 7, 8, 9. I keep pointing out that down here in the South, we're incredibly integrated. It's something because for my entire life, I've heard how we weren't and how racist we are down in the South. I'm like, bullshit. I mean, granted, if you listen to a lot of us talk, especially back then, you probably would have thought we were always bringing up racial differences and making fun of them to each other. And it didn't go one way. It was actually both. We were just tossing that out, and we didn't care. And that was the point. I didn't care that my friend was black. He didn't care if I was white, but we would always bring up stuff like that.
I want to point out
a lot of it, and that's just part of what we're seeing here. Like Eric said, it was 51 years ago. Yeah. It was also just a different time, and we had different attitude towards it. And in all honesty, at some points, there were times where I think we were more respectful than we are now. I don't know. Maybe it's just my age now going, you kids, when I was young.
There's also the fact that in 1971, there was not a single recurring black character at DC. Marvel had them for years.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody from Black Panther to city editor Joe Robertson. So I mean, they were not fully integrated, but they were using black cops and doctors in Amazing Spider-Man as far back as 1964.
When did Moon Knight start?
That was not till 75.
Okay, because Moon Knight had
well, by that time there was
it was really incorporated all by him.
Yeah,
I remember when I was in like. I'm sorry, I'll let you.
I was just going to put this is what Rhaegar said. See this? The handshake from Predator was born from this comic.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true, but we'll go with that.
Well, here's the thing. You also have to remember that this is only 7 years away from the signing of the Civil Rights Act.
Yep.
So this is for as sappy and earnest as this book seems, it really was at the very beginning of what people call the national healing and so forth.
So just think about how stereotypical DC wrote every character that wasn't the adult male white hero. I mean, like Bob Haney tried to write teenagers.
Oh,
and that's where he was the original Hello Fellow Kids. They just they said they were, and Kanigher probably had written some black characters because his forte was war comics. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that, they might have used some in his stories, but like I said DC and they were also, I kind of picture if this had been the Electric Company telling this story, because that's basically the age group DC was aiming for.
Morgan Freeman taught me my ABCs. It's true. Actually, and the song "There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea." By the way, that is the one thing other than Spider-Man that sticks with me from the Electric Company is he's dressed up like Jimmy Buffett. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. It just plays with my mind that guy used to entertain me as a kid.
This was also before Tyrock.
Tyrock was the first.
He actually beat Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Was Heimdall already established in Journey in the Mystery?
Yeah, but he wasn't a black guy. He wasn't black until.
He actually was a race swap for this.
So there you go. I wonder if they bring back the machine, says Jonah. It would make it so it screws up and turns someone permanently. I think that would be funny as hell if a writer put it into a comic where, let's say you have some of the Superman sidecast, they need to go into the fortress for some reason to hide from someone. They find this, they jump into it, and the lever gets actually accidentally thrown. And
it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Christopher Reeve movie, where he went in. He took away their powers and gave himself powers back in. That's what I mean. That's what.
And I just want to take this time to point out, if you have a chance to get Idris Elba into your movie and the only part left is a teenage girl, well, Idris is playing that teenage girl.
I know, right? I remember when people were talking about, and you had some people go nuts over it. Oh, there should be a Black James Bond. If it's Idris Elba, does anybody really have a complaint about that?
Nope.
I look at it more like this: if the acting and story is good, I don't care what race he is.
If it's Chris Tucker or Rock, I'm going to argue a little bit.
Yeah. I said if the acting is good.
Yeah, unless it's a satire. A satire, they would work for it.
Blofeld, you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Idris Elba is Riri Williams.
Oh, dear Lord.
Put that movie out tomorrow.
Oh, I want to correct some misinformation out there that people have been passing around. Riri Williams was not in the comic books until 2016. Iron Man had 3 movies well before that, and he was in the comic books before 2016 as Tony Stark. So please stop saying that yes, 2016 is when he was really ramped up as being the MCU. Yes, then they switched over to Riri. But before that, it was Tony Stark in the books when he had his movies out. So please stop misinterpreting.
What are they saying?
People are saying that when Iron Man had his movies, Riri was in the books. That is totally incorrect.
No, in the Avengers movies, probably.
The Avengers, she's right. Iron Man 3 came out before the first appearance of Riri Williams.
Yes, but people are saying
to be fair, there was no Iron Man before Riri Williams.
Okay, so
he perfected it.
To quote Eric, eat hot death.
Okay, so tomorrow, of course, we've got our auction going on at 9 p.m. Eastern on Old Man Comics. And Sunday is Comic Book Jeopardy. We're always looking for new players and such, but we're going to finish off our tournament this time around, or at least the playoffs as sort. Next week, what do you guys want to do? What do you think would be good next week? Because as I was talking to Skip behind the scenes, The Punisher did this same story. Not 30 years later. Also, we have all sorts of characters and such to.
I would say if you could make it next Friday, what book would you consider reading? Want to read?
Honest, you are correct. The first one was 2008.
You know me, I don't even read Cape's books really. I read like indie stuff, so I have no recommendation.
Let me translate that for you. Like,
are you white speaking for him?
I'm not coming back. You guys humiliated me in this one. Why the hell would I come back?
I'll come back for another one. And I think I think next Friday works. Maybe I'll look into something. Let me research and see if there's something that I can recommend.
There are indie books, it doesn't have to be Marvel DC.
No, it's East Channel, and I know the theme. I want to respect that.
Yeah, but we like you better, though.
No, I like. Yeah, that's true. I like you better than no, but there are independent comic book characters. We could go into anything. I'm fine with that too.
Let's read the new Milestone Static Shock. I heard that's great. Skip's like, I'm out now.
If we're gonna, why don't we do the first issue of Hero for Hire then? If we're
yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Okay.
We may not get Zach though.
We don't really need Zach.
Gotta have my twin on here.
That kid is never gonna live that stuff down.
Hendricks, I like what Hendricks said though. The happy streams end too soon.
Every Tuesday I tell him I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna say anything, but the chat, free reign.
Anyway, guys, one of the reasons we do this is to point out that there is greatness in back issues, even with the silly and stupid stuff.
Absolutely.
And so if you are looking at comic books today and just feeling a little bit down about it, check out the back issues. As Skipper Man down there is saying, also check out independent comic books. I agree with this wholeheartedly. Most of my pull list anymore are independent comic books, so check that out as well.
I was going to say Glinzer. Yes, I do remember that, but actually even before that, you had Falcon complaining about he didn't want to be the token. way back when. He didn't want to be the token Avenger. So
You know what?
Triathlon amped it up to 11.
We could also, the week after, do Captain America 117.
Which is?
The first Falcon.
Ooh. If we have
the real Captain America.
I want to be the Red. I want to be the Red Skull.
Shut your mouth.
You know you do.
You have the dialect for it, Eric.
Yeah. Okay, kids. We're going to try to say goodbye a third time here. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you to RDV, Maranya, Eric, and Skip for his first reading. Had to be I Am Curious Black.
I thought he was here before for something else.
All righty. So don't forget the auction tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Old Man Comics. If you don't mind helping out the channel, there is a link in the description to the Ko-Fi. Like, thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.